We can get in the cold, man. Why it's hot. We can get in the cold.
All right, go start it up. What you think about the joint? We touched on it last night a little bit, but what's your thoughts on the record?
So I think Cole spitting. I think he was spitting. There's a few things I didn't like about it. Um, I feel like you're still explaining yourself, bro. You know, I thought your best explaining was when you got on that stage and you said why you was taking the track down and why you're not getting into it or whatever, and then you get on here and it's kind of like you're apologizing, and then you saying these niggas are my mans, but it's kind of like, nah, I wouldn't have lost. I would have lost a friend, and it's kind of like it's still kind of like you kind of poppy and shit, but it's kind of like you like feeling like you're too ahead of them, like I'm above y'all, like oh no, I'm the bigger man, and I don't know if I like that I'm the bigger man approach, when you actually engaged in it. Just because you pulled out don't mean that you wasn't with the shits either. Like don't try to make it seem like you the bigger man in this, and you when really you was Trey asking Doughboy to let you out the car. That's
Yeah,
really
right,
what it
right, right.
was, like keeping a spade a spade. But yes, Cole spits. But hey man, I was just kind of off it, bro. Give us something else. You have given us the features. You had a hell of a feature run. We can see you get busy on the features. Just go to this album and give us a dope album. But you're explaining and you have this way of feeling like you're the bigger man. I don't really know how to how to feel about that, bro. Like, you know,
I'm
um,
with you, bro. I thought I was gonna be
yeah,
the only one on that soapbox. It's like, see, this is the thing about Cole. Everybody likes Cole, and I get that. You know what I mean? And I think that with certain people, people give them a pass because they like them and they're nice people and all of that, and that's cool. But even nice people do suck a shit and make mistakes. But
mhm.
see, this is happening months after the fact. You sat here and let the whole industry gang up on your guy Drake, or a guy that you say is your guy, but you want to go out here acting like you keeping the peace. I don't get that. And the fact that you just went out here of all times and made a record with ASAP Rocky when you already know what's going on with that. It's like you trying to play the middle out here and you acting like you don't want to engage, but you did engage. And it feels like you only stopped engaging because niggas really wasn't feeling the records that you put forth. And I think it's kind of whack too that you put out a mixtape called "I Might Delete This Later." So this almost seems premeditated.
Yeah,
It
like
was
he was
like
dipping
you
his
you
toe in the
sit here
water,
hedging
sniffing
your
hot.
bets, like, yo, if niggas ain't fucking with this shit, I could just delete it. You know what I mean? It's like, huh? But
Yeah,
everybody's cool with this because it's Cole. If Drake did the same exact shit, people would be calling it for what it is.
if both of them did it, if Cole did it, if Kendrick did it, if Drake did it, it would have been ugly for both of them. And
Yeah,
you can't give Cole a pass just because like, oh, he wasn't with it, his heart wasn't in it. I was like, bro, I know the process of what it is going to the studio.
yeah.
So you couldn't have been that hot in the head and fired up that night that you was just you blacked out when you just went in there and wrote that and went and recorded it and did your dubs and all that. Nah, bro, like it's like you literally dipped your toe in the water to see if it was hot. And all right, nah, all right, let me, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
in the pool. And that's why I said I don't like that a little bit, man. If you're gonna put something out there, stand on it. If you don't want to take it there, then cool, you can bow out. But it's like I kind of feel like you threw the rock. Like I think you said this, Mike. You threw the rock and hide your hands, and then it's like you
Yeah.
I'm the bigger person type of approach, and it's kind of like yo, stop it with that, you know.
Well,
Uh,
people saying like who's giving him a pass. Everybody who's not calling this for what it is giving him a pass. Because
yeah,
again, if this were somebody else that did this, if Jay-Z or somebody that people don't overwhelmingly love in that way were to do something like this, they would call it for what it is. And this is corny. I don't know if this is Cole's way of trying to. That's the other part of it too. Like you're trying to figure out a way to keep the buzz up for your new effort because let's be real, the buzz that went down for his new album since all this stuff happened. You're still trying to piggyback off of this beef that is between those two guys that you elected to not be a part of. And I don't know what's up with all these Michael Jackson references with all these guys, but the Beat It reference and all that, yes, you're putting yourself in the place of a quote unquote peacemaker, and you are far from a peacemaker in this situation. You engaged in the records, right? When niggas was out here coming at the guy who took you out on tour, gave you a #1 record and all of that, and Drake, you wasn't telling Ross to stand down. You wasn't telling Future and any of these guys to stand down and let these two guys handle it. You weren't doing any of that stuff. Honestly, man, you just bowed down to Kendrick with what it sounded like to me. I mean, that's what it sounded like to me. Like, what you did was you put out that record, you said all that stuff on the record with Absol and all that, and then you got out there in Dreamfest, which is your prerogative, it's cool. You basically said, man, I don't want it with Kendrick, because you know what? Kendrick doesn't seem to value that relationship publicly in the same way you do. Because what has Kendrick said? Has Kendrick said anything like Cole's my man, any of that shit?
Nope. And you know, the thing about Cole is like he shitted on his own rollout. I've never seen an artist in a long time have the best setup for a successful album like Cole.
Drake set him up even more too.
Oh man, like you had the feature run, you had the joint with Drake, you had, even if you would have just gave us the album and not did what you did on that Dreamville stage, people still would have been like, all right, he dissed Kendrick. You really had the perfect setup and you literally imploded it right in front of our face. And now it's like you're trying to save face. And I just don't know how this, I don't know how it's going to work from out. It kills the excitement, you know, it kills the anticipation.
Let me get to the super chat real quick, guys. Mad Max in the super chat says Cole and Dot get protected. Cole's weak, soft is Charmin. Well, one thing real quick is I think that if we look at Drake, we look at K Dot, we look at Cole, I think he can save himself, because if you go bar for bar from a rhyme perspective, he's the most talented, he's the most gifted MC of the three, in my opinion. I think he can rap better than Kendrick, he can rap better than Drake. So I think if he can fall back into his bag and drop a dope album, I think people will forgive him based upon the music. Now he got to get away from this beef and all this apologizing and sideway talk. But if he goes back to just rapping, I think he can get out of it and drop a dope album.
Yeah, I don't think this record you just put out helps it though. You know,
right.
We're kind of like I'm not gonna say they forgot about it, but it's kind of like if you would have gave us a fire record instead of speaking on this, then it was like, okay, you kind of get our ears back again. But it's like now you spoke on it again, it rehashes the feelings that we have for you stepping out and bowing out of it. And it's just kind of like, I don't see how that helps you with the momentum going into this new project.
No doubt. Let me get to Mad Max real quick. Mad Max with a super chat says, I would have lost, bro. Okay. And then just die every day, B. You'll be all right. You tough, right? Cameron voice. Tired of your paper soft towel rappers, but put your mic down. Never rhyme again. Come on, Mad Max. The man can rap, man. Don't be like that. Mad Max says Cole showed more heart fighting Diddy for Dot than battle. Laughing my ass off, scary bum. You on one tonight, Mad Max.
Yeah, man. It's kind of like I don't know what it is with Cole. I kind of feel like sometimes you spit like you want to be competitive. And then when you had the moment to really kind of pop your shit, you bowed out. And I guess he's saying, oh, these are my friends, and I knew I would have got personal. I still don't see it going to the point of where Cole and Kendrick is going, because I really feel like Kendrick,
that's such a cop out though, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because really, man, when it came to Cole, all right, let's just say, yeah, the Kendrick and Drake stuff, yeah, that could have gotten personal or whatever.
Yeah.
But when it came to Cole and Kendrick, and honestly, at the time, that's really who people wanted to see. They wanted to see those two bar up. That wasn't going to get personal unless Cole got something that he don't want, people to know out there. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. But obviously, Kendrick holds no punches. And, it is what it is. But what it sounded like to me was Cole just don't want it with Kendrick on that level. And really, the way that Cole is as great as he is as an MC and as talented as he is, it really puts Kendrick in another stratosphere because it lets people know that, yeah, Kendrick's willing to do it. Kendrick's has the ability and the stomach for it in a way that Cole just doesn't. And honestly, man, we can just say what it is, man. Like, that really affects how much people even want to hear a new Cole album. Because, like you said, man, we don't really want to hear you talking that, crazy vibrato anymore. I mean, that stuff is gone. You need to go make a backpack album at this point, which is fine.
And,
But
honestly, him bowing out, it kind of put a stamp on his rollout. But now you're like I said, if you just would have did a dope record and give us this, you could have built us up again, us getting around to liking you and what you have to say again. But now you're
the
going
GOAT shit's done.
explaining it, and then you're kind of playing this, I'm bigger than you, but I can still fight. I get busy, but just let me know. It's like that guy that's always saying, I can fight, but you never see him spar with nobody. It's like, I don't like it.
And when the fight was on, you didn't fight. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
And if you don't go against one of them, who's gonna be your test? You feel me? Cole may be one of those rappers that go down. It's not really having a test.
well, see, I didn't even like the fact that he tried to make it seem like, this was gonna go the violent route. This was not one of those things. This was not the game. This was not, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Right. Let me. Mad Max in the super chat says, "LOL." Now I will say this: when Sean and Dot went back and forth, and Dot Element song got leaked, Dot did go personal with Big Sean, talking about his girl. Dot will always go personal. That's the guy he is. Man, at the end of the day, man, we just want to hear some music. Like I said last night, I think the music will speak for itself. If Dot drop his album and it's hitting like that, then it's hitting like that. If Cole drop his album, Drake got some. Let's put out the music, because this beef. To me, this beef wasn't really. I mean, it was exciting for a little bit, but I think J. Cole tapping out kind of took the luster off, because he's the best MC out of the bunch. So you got to put the music out, and the music will be the judge.
But see, I think this really affects his music, though, Ron. I mean, he could be a dope MC on paper, but when your subject matter and your energy and everything that people know you to be great for is stripped, what kind of album is he going to be able to make that's going to spark the interest and really, speak to where he is right now as an MC? Because all of this build up, all these features that he talks about, being the best featured artist and this and that, that's GOAT talk. You can't talk GOAT talk no more. So now the best you can do is to go out there and make a reflective album. Really? I mean, really, what kind of music? If you're sitting here executive producing J. Cole's album, Ron, what are you going to sit here and tell him to do? Let's just say you're producing his album. What's the direction right now?
Right. It's got to be introspective. It's got to be reflective. It's got to sound like the song he did with Future and Metro. It's got to be on that type. Red Bottom Shoes. It's got to be on that type of vibe.
But Cole's also always kind of been reflective. That's the thing. It's kind of continuing what he already did. It's nothing different. And like to Mike's point, he can't necessarily be out here and be I'm the GOAT talk and the braggadocious, I could outspit anyone, when we know you don't want to get your hands dirty. So it does put him in a conflicting thing of what is your album going to sound like now? Because are we going to get another reflective? Forest Hills Drive was reflective. That's my favorite Cole album. But
that's mine too. I don't want to hear another Forest Hills Drive at this point.
Yeah, what is the next thing we're gonna get from you? That's that net scale. And I kind of felt like you had the perfect setup and you shitted on your own work, man. It's like, I don't know where we go from here for him.
Yeah, I don't know either. And I don't know how you get people energized to want to hear what you're about to do next either. Like, I don't know. I mean, I don't have the answers for that. I think he ruined that. Maybe he wasn't thinking about all of this when he did it. I really don't even know what he was thinking when he went out there on that Dreamville stage and did what he did. I don't know. That seemed like a real knee-jerk, scared reaction. And I don't know if that's something that came from the higher ups, because obviously there was a lot of people involved in, coming to Drake or whatever. I don't know if it came from that place, or I don't know if it genuinely came from the place where it's like, I don't want to battle Kendrick Lamar. But on its surface, all we can take it for is I don't want to battle Kendrick Lamar. I don't want it with him. And then after what happened with, Kendrick and Drake, it makes J. Cole look even more scared.
Yeah.
And shout out to Drake for coming with the records and sparring with a dude that was willing to make up fake children and stuff in a battle. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yo, Mike, did you hear today? They saying I heard a story that the girl might be real. She gonna get with Act and drop the exclusive.
Well, I seen that Drake dropped the DM trying to prove that it wasn't his. I mean, I never really cared about that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like lies are spilt on both sides. So when people get hung up on who told what lie and what lie sticks and whatever, it's kind of like I think it takes away from the battle itself because both of them lied on each other. Both of them said wild shit. Like, and this is the thing about hip hop.
Well, some lies are funny though. Like,
some lies is entertaining. I mean,
like,
it's the point of a battle.
When he said, your back is up against the curb. I mean, that's funny, or like when you 36 in a karate class, Tabo Ho, that's funny stuff. But to sit there and make up a whole child and the trauma that the child is going through and stuff, that's a little bit out there. You know what I mean? That's not funny stuff to make up.
Right.
I feel like everything, like I said, there was lies on both sides. The lie started with what Drake was saying, and you got okay, you want to go low, you want to be messy, okay, then I'm gonna show you how dirty I could really get. It kind of went Jerry Springer, you know what I'm saying? Like, how lower can we get with who says the worst about what? And I think Kendrick kind of won that battle on the mudslinging, but
for sure.
Yeah, he won a battle with mudslinging, but both of them did. I mean, come on, like you telling this man his baby is not his, and this is why I kind of
it might. He said might. He didn't say
but
it was.
You're planting that seed, bro. You know what you're doing. You're planting the seed. Right. You're showing the screenshots where you see his wife is following Dave Free, but not Dot. You know what I'm saying? This is a little corny shit, and it's like they did mudslinging on both sides. So I hate when people are biased to one versus the other when both of them like they participated in the mudslinging. Not only that, Euphoria. This is why I say, because I know you was bigging up Family Matters last show.
Yeah.
On Euphoria, Dot already said, you thought I had problems on the family front because you hurt Mr. Morale. And that's the beginning lines of the record. You can predict his angles, and then you hear Family Matters. And that's why I say Family Matters, like, he got it, everybody. It was solid. But when you really hear what Kendrick did on Euphoria and he called out, it kind of already played into what Kendrick was saying he was going to do, as far as like the Dave Free stuff. Now, when you go back and listen to Euphoria, you had problems on the family front. Oh, I could predict your angles and stuff like that. And then you hear what he came with. Like I said, it was kind of like prophetic. And that's what I was saying. That's why it kind of takes away from Family Matters on me, even though it was one of the most solid records out of them joints. It's kind of like Kendrick is sitting there and he puppet master, bro. It's like he kind of
Kendrick's playing chess the whole time. Like, he was 3 steps ahead in this whole battle.
Yeah.
And again, that back to Cole, it kind of solidifies the fact that Cole was scared. And it's a difference between saying, you know what, I'm gonna be the bigger man, and that I'm scared. And so, as far as the GOAT talk and the vibrato that Cole comes with, if somebody had to ask me based on what I've seen and what I've heard and how this whole thing played out, was Cole being the bigger man or was he scared? It appears that he was more scared than being the bigger man because he put these records out there. And he knew, I believe he knew how calculated Kendrick was going to be.
Another thing about this, I think Cole was scared on the point of how dirty he knew it can get.
Yeah, I agree.
Those skeletons or whatever he had exposed. So I think that was more so the fear of not wanting to get that dirty. That's all I think it really is. Because
but again, if a friendship was valued on both sides, he shouldn't have had to worry about that part. He talking about he would have lost the bro. Kendrick didn't care about that, obviously.
But the thing about it is, it's confusing to me. And again, Might Delete Later wasn't really personal. I mean, he was dropping some subliminals and some direct shots the whole album against Kendrick, but it wasn't grossly personal and nasty by nature. It was just
I agree.
competitive. So I don't understand what the fear is competing. Let me get to the super chat real quick. Lord Versailles says Port Antonio is exceptional. Ninja splaining. Leroy with the super chat says, Mike, if I'm executive producing Cole album, I'm telling him he keep the same GOAT talk because everybody apologized before and he actually made a diss song anyway.
Nobody wants to hear GOAT talk from Cole right now.
Nobody.
I mean, it's just, I mean, because it's like you had your opportunity to solidify that, you did.
Yeah, and you know, and here's the thing about them too. It's just like when you see that they're ready to go that low, yeah, you said, oh, I'm not ready to go that low. But it's like, don't say, oh, but I would have, if this would have happened, then I would have lost the bro. And it's like I don't know, man. It's like when you there, you need to throw hands and then you leave. Oh man, if I would have did this, but man, if I I don't want to knock him out. It's like I don't want to hear that, bro. It's
Yeah,
like,
man. You just need to chill with that talk, man. Don't say anything, man. Like, look again. Even if he wanted to back out of this thing, I would have had no problem if he didn't go out on stage and do what he did and just made this record. I would have been okay with that. But going out there on stage and doing what he did, that was unnecessary and it was extra. It really was. What was that?
I mean, I do feel like what he said on stage is probably genuine. It's just kind of like I never seen no shit like that in hip hop.
It just never needed to happen, though. Like, I mean, I'm sure it was genuine, but it's like, honestly, man, again, if that's your brother like that, that could have been a conversation behind the scenes.
Yeah, man. Like I've never seen that before, bro. And you know, and I'm tired of people acting like it has anything to do with who's the better rapper. These battles, these beefs on wax has nothing to do ever with who's the better rapper. It's about who could like embarrass each other the most. They didn't care about who was a better rapper when it was 50 and Ja Rule. You know, it doesn't. It's always been a mudslinging contest. It's always been that.
Yeah.
When you think about these great hip hop battles, some of it has truth, some of it had lies, some of it had a lot of exaggerations. When you think about Dre versus Easy or NWA and Cube, or when we think about Jay and Nas, we think about all these great battles. All of them came with mudslinging, bro. Like it came, people took it there. Now just say you didn't want to take it there. No,
when I think about it though, Cervon, this nigga got on stage. It was like, who loves Kendrick Lamar? He did that. Then he goes, makes a song with A$AP Rocky. And then he goes out here, Negro splaining on this record. Like, this might be the worst battle rap run from an MC ever. And then he deleted his damn diss records.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never seen anything like it.
I mean, we've seen somebody apologize for taking too far, and Hov did that was super ugly. But
I mean, but now that's different though. This is a series of things.
Because the distance kept happening from Jay after that. He was just like, right, Mom said something, I have to step in. And I still didn't like that then, but I see it when Mom step in, you gotta take what Mom's saying. But like even when we think about Jay and Nas, there's mudslinging there. Like it happens in hip hop. Anybody who really engaged in real battle was not above the mudslinging. Not even Nas himself, not even Jay themselves. Like everybody, it's what these beefs are.
Any battle you could think of, man. DJ Quick, MCA, you know what I'm saying? Like MC Light and her battles, DMX and Corrupt. Like it goes on, man. And again, I know we love Cole, and I know Cole's a nice guy and he's a great MC. But to say that he is absolved of this is ludicrous, man. Like even ludicrous to T.I. Everybody who has engaged Pusha T and Drake, all the battles that Drake has been in. I mean, really, I know Cole is nicer on paper than Drake, but just as battle tested as Drake is, and the hit maker he is, how can we put Cole over Drake?
Yeah, man. Like in every great.
I guess we could say ghostwriters and stuff, but I mean, other than that, man, like
I mean, Mike, you know Cole can rap better than Drake. Let's just talk about
it doesn't matter, Ron.
Cole's a better rapper out of the three.
There's a lot of people that can rap better than a lot of people. But if we look at the totality of it, I can't put him over Drake in good conscience. I can't. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of people who word for word that can rap better than other niggas. That doesn't matter. It's more than that.
But he
like,
has a
you know what I'm saying? Like Rise Guys can rap better than a lot of these niggas. So what?
Yeah, he has a point because, like we said, Cole is a better rapper out of the three. I honestly think that. But when we start waging like
I agree with that.
careers and certain high points in careers and what happened and whatever, it's like, oh, we're just gonna put Cole there just because I rap you niggas. I'm rapping, I rap. I tell you niggas how dope I am. Nah,
I'm
bro.
gonna say this, man, and I know they say Cole might be listening. There is no big three. It's big two in this generation. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Nah, man, I can't say that, man.
You gotta earn your spot, man. I mean,
think
you got to.
I can't throw away all what he's done, that feature run, and be like, nah, he just tossed away. Where does he fall then? Where does he fall if he ain't in that conversation? You know what I'm saying?
We can't just put the crown on his head and he hasn't went through that full challenge to get it.
Especially when he had the opportunity to do so. It's really like somebody who had, playoff potential in these things, and then they finally get into the playoffs and they freeze. He's James Harden, man. Let's call it what it is, dog. He's James Harden. Yeah, can James Harden bust niggas' ass in the regular season? Pause? Sure. But when James Harden gets in the playoffs, we know what he's going to do. We know he ain't going to win no championship, and it's not about that for him.
From every GOAT that you have, right? For every GOAT that we had in every era, they have been battle tested and stood through it. Yeah. That's literally, like I said this in the past show. We give people certain crowns because what they've been through as far as a career and what they got. The wins that they have. And honestly, it's no different. Cole, you have all the stats. You have all the stats to be a Hall of Fame player. But
yeah. When you have all of the attributes, like you have all of the skill sets, you didn't apply them where they needed to be applied. This was an opportunity, and this was a place where it needed to be applied. And again, we all know that bar for bar, Drake doesn't even stand in the same world as Kendrick. But the fact that he was willing to go out there and try to go bar for bar with somebody like that speaks a lot to him. Now, J. Cole's the person that could go bar for bar with Kendrick. And he elected, I don't even want to, he elected to not do so. I'll put it that he was scared. Let's keep it a buck. He was scared. Yeah, Drake wasn't scared, and he didn't even have the lyrical ability or skill to even go at this dude.
So he has the stats for a Hall of Fame career, but no chip, man.
The only thing he can do to get the chip is drop to fall off. And he said he had 2 classics in the chamber. So if he dropped 2 classics, then we'll see. I mean, that's the only thing we can see. I mean,
I don't believe it. I mean, I just don't. I don't think he got it in him. But that's just me.
But it's just funny though that folks that's just knocking Cole in the chat about him not engaging, give Eminem a pass when folks been going at Eminem, especially Game, been going and he never really responded.
Well, you know how I feel about that,
Right. So but it's funny though, the same folks riding with him is dogging Cole. It's just funny to me.